say thank you for joining us today. It's a bit of an unusual day for us, being Monday. I would like to welcome you to the Smada World Opportunity webinar offered by Next Level Africa. This webinar today will be a general overview of where we are at with NLA and the exchanges, and we will be having the Q&A at the end, where you are welcome to ask questions covering all things. So I'd like to say a big thank you to everyone joining us today. It's wonderful to see all of you here from various parts of the world. We really appreciate your attendance. We've got people from, of course, Australia, Canada, the US, Spain, France, the UK, and the Netherlands. So welcome, everyone. And it gives me great pleasure now to introduce to you our presenter for today, Mr. Noel Adams, the founder of Next Level Africa and our CEO and leader of the Smada team. Welcome, Noel.
Thanks, Angelina, and welcome everybody to the webinar. Sorry we couldn't get last Thursday's webinar going, but we were just waiting for lots of information coming through. There's quite a bit happening out there, and it's a day-by-day thing that we're getting information through on. So I'll try to cover some of the things, because what we're going to be doing is hopefully having another webinar on Thursday, because I'm waiting for a bit more info to come through. For those of you that don't know, we've got the holiday weekend here in Australia, in most states anyway. So we've just come out of the holiday weekend. It's our first day back, and so making any contact and finding out things has been a little bit awkward, but nevertheless we're getting bits and pieces of it coming through as we go. Okay, just to talk about the exchange and what's going on there. They are, believe it or not, doing lots and lots of work on the exchange. That's why there are things happening with Next Level Africa. That's why our line 6 has been held up, because I mean it's all connected. The whole thing is connected right through. The security issue run right through from the exchanges right through to Next Level Africa. So I guess that in some ways it's you know, refreshing that we are going to have quite a good security system put in place that will manage what we need to do. But boy, getting there, it's been a challenge, because it seems that there's certain parts of the technical team, they haven't got access to full security issue within the area, so you've got to have clearance to get in. So there's been backwards and forwards on arguing about that over there. So there's a lot of bickering going on with the programmers, and of course the bank like us, the bank are not the programmers. We're not the programmers. We're just in their hands as to when they complete their tasks out there. Some of the things that have happened in the way of Bitcoin being transferred over there. Anyone that's transferred Bitcoin, don't be alarmed, because it will turn up. It seems that they had to add a new wallet within the system, and it's still trying to sync. Bitcoin wallets can take a while. So there are other things going on with that, so that we've got issues out there with making sure that all of that happens. And so hopefully I'm going to be getting information back from our team in South Africa. In case you don't know, that our team in South Africa, the head of the team, Vainerd Wessels, he is moving to America next month, and he'll be working directly with the security team over there. He is the architect and the manager of what goes on in the exchange, and consequently he'll be working directly with them. So he's actually moving house, taking his family with him, and they're settling in America in order to have this completed, and we're not waiting for him to be there to be completed, but the ongoing running of it. He'll be working with a specialty team that will oversee everything that goes on through the exchanges. So this all has to be put in place. So anyway, we are certainly moving through what we can do with the exchanges, and every now and again there's been funds that have been released. We can't go to our core investment group yet to speak to them until we're 100% that the exchange is working backwards and forwards. So the funds that people placed in, I don't officially know whether they just turn up or not, or whether or not they're manually having to do them to bring them in. So we're trying to find out on that as well. You may have noticed there was about give or take $8,000 worth of Chingaling traded over the last day or so. There's quite a bit more money going in. And look, just to refresh on the Chingaling, when we first started with Chingaling, the bank took it over, and the bank allowed us to buy the Chingaling at a dollar back in the time. They wanted to take the coins back again, offer members $2 back for the coins and take them back, because they could see that the members, our members, would cause issues amongst, because they don't deal with members like we do. They deal with investors. And they wanted to make sure they protected the Chingaling coin. And as you might see, if you look in the exchange, you'll see there's people playing around with the price on Chingaling coin. Now, I see it as short term, because once these people run out of the Chingaling coin, they won't be listed anymore. That's why getting in there now will be the last time you'll ever see the coin at that price. And because we can't buy the Chingaling coin apart from what's on the exchange, buying from other members. And when the global exchange goes up, I can't officially tell you the value on the Chingaling coin, but it's going to be in excess of $600 a coin. And so a lot of people, when you think about it, the people selling coin in there, the Chingaling, they're selling it. Someone's just listed another 300 coins over the last 24 hours. I noticed they're at $30 a coin. These people are getting 30 times their money back, so because they initially probably paid $1 for the coins, so they're happy to get that, and maybe they just want to get out. That's fine. And so they're getting 30 times their money. But anyone that buys the coins now will certainly get 20 times their money once the site goes live. So it's a win-win all round. I see it there. And really that this is how we were able to take over the running of the exchange when we finally get it handed over to us, is that because of this, we've been able to put a cap on the NLA trading, if you like, to a certain extent, but we have no control on Chingaling. We don't try to. With Chingaling, we know once it's gone, it's gone, and so we know what's happening with the NLA coin when we finish the dollar value on the coin. So that's why there's a little bit of argy-bargy going on there with the exchange. And of course the banks do bring it up about that, because they don't want their investors to see what is going on with the value of the coin. It just it drags the whole thing down for them, and their flagship coin is the Chingaling coin. Okay, so I'll move on. Sending projects and things in there to admin. We don't want to see any projects from people, so listing them and then having them listed on the project site, the community site, is the only place we will look at projects out there, because we don't want to be tied up with people sending us their projects, and in most cases anyone sending us their projects want us to have a look at them in preference to others, but we want to try and be as fair as we can with the projects, especially the humanitarian projects. And because, as you well know, that once we get this to a point where we can organise to be in the States, with this, they're signing up for our trust account, which will be $100 billion going into the availability for these humanitarian projects. So you can see that we want to make sure that we get them on there, and getting them listed. We've come across this issue now with what they're doing with the exchanges. So my programming team in South Africa are doing everything they can to secure what we need to do with getting our lines in place there. And hopefully, look, they've been telling me, they've been sending me line 6 now every day for the last 2 weeks, but I'm going to be, you know, calling it in today on what we need to do, because I want to keep that on the move through there. So we will be able to start loading more projects up onto that once we've completed the line 5. There's still a couple of payments to be made on line 5. That's why line 6 hasn't gone in there yet. There's still 52 members to make payments, and we'll be looking at taking over those accounts if we can't get them sorted out. So we try to give as much leniency as we can so that people can, you know, complete what they need to do there. So hopefully we'll have that sorted out during this week. Look, just to cover a couple of other things like BCN and UPB, I'll go into more detail with them on Thursday, but there's a lot of activity going on in BCN. If anyone's got access to look at their updates, or we did post their most recent update, and they're releasing a new website, and so there's a lot of activity going on there. So we want to make sure that we get things happening there. We've had a few members take up positions in BCN. They're being placed now, so it's not as though we haven't been doing anything with it, but we just want to hold off until they complete their website and what they're doing, so that everything makes sense for us. And look, just to talk about with the BCN, obviously managing the Bitcoin, I don't know whether members here have noticed that in the last week there's been a massive hit on the value of Bitcoin and Bitcoin Cash. So it's a very volatile coin out there, and certainly I'm glad that we don't have that variation in ours. Once we get started with it there, we won't have that variation at all, because, as I said, we've got an asset-backed account coin, and we have a use for our coin, whereas the Bitcoin really doesn't have a use. It's got no backing on it, so it's simply supply and demand. So anyway, but I'm not saying it's going to crash out there, but certainly the last I looked, and I could be wrong now, but it was about 6,700. So when you consider that in December it was $20,000, that's a fairly big loss, and anyone that's maxed themselves on a credit card would be looking to get out of that to pay their cards up. So look, that's where we are. So UPB and BCN, I'll go over a bit more about those on Thursday. So we're trying to. In fact, I thought I may have had. If you just give me 2 seconds, I just want to. Okay, now this has just been sent to me now. So I will I'm only quoting, this is my development team that's sending it to me, so you're hearing it first off. So they've been on the phone with the LA team. Now, they tell me, I'm reading this, remember this, so don't shoot me. By the end of this week, GEX will be up and running. And the CEX generated the address today, same with the Bitcoin sync. So any of the synchronization with the coins going in has to do with the wallets. They're getting all of that fixed up now. So I just hope that's something that really comes into play with what's going on there, with especially with GEX, because that's where a lot of the activity is going on through that as well. So look, that could be a good thing. So you've heard that as I've received it. I received it 15 seconds ago on something, so it's fresh off the press. All right, well look, that's where I am. I'm going to try and get some more information. As you can see that our team in South Africa, it's now getting reasonably late. It's sort of heading towards the 11 o'clock at night over there, and they will probably go for another couple of hours. They work because of working overseas, and that's why they're moving to America, to be closer to being able to work in normal hours, because they do work sometimes from 10, 11 o'clock in the night until 2 and 3 in the morning, and then have to do their own day's work where they are as well. So it's been a massive strain on working with the global time frames all over the place. So anyway, look, that's where we are with that. I will just continue on now and speak about what's happening with our promo, and we're getting down towards the last few weeks on this promo, so I'll just go over it now, and that's been the updates on what I've got so far. Now, as you well know, that we are going to be ceasing. There'll be no more $1 NLA coins, and this is a good thing, because that will reflect on the coin value in the exchange, and we do want to get onto this. I've given members enough opportunity now to be able to capitalize on that and have positions secured in Next Level Africa, and also understand that we go from the dollar coin, and when you see the new value on the NLA coin, you'll see why it's important that we have this out there, because we don't want to be playing around with the market maker setting our coin value at these high levels they're coming in now, and people are considering that they've got no value because we are letting members have them for $1. So that has to come to an end, and we want to bring it to an end by the end of June. Now, we're making this special offer to our members and guests. By purchasing 50 plus positions in Next Level Africa at $20 US for each position, we will need a spreadsheet so they can be loaded in by our programmer. They will fall on line 9. The reason we are doing this is to secure the $1 coin for the upgrade. We need to know how many we need for our members. You know, once we step outside of that, then it's really just the outside world that'll be coming into that, and they will just pay. It'll still be $15 to join Next Level Africa plus fees. So on that, some people mix up by thinking it's $15 to join Next Level Africa, but it's 15 coins. And what happens is the bank charges a 10% fee on the purchase of the coin, so it actually makes it $16.50 for the coin. But because we're doing this in a spreadsheet, we've got to load it onto a spreadsheet, and it's loaded in on a CSV file, but they do charge us for that as well. So we've just got a few fees that go on there, so we've rounded it off at $20 to make it easy. But when you consider this, that because of the membership we've got coming in, ready to come in, that members taking these positions will finish up with the 30 coins on their underneath them. So those 30 coins, look, to put a figure on what those 30 coins could be worth, the reason I can't put an exact figure is I don't know when someone might sell them. If you sold them straight away, when these are all released out there, it could be the value of whatever they are on the exchange. And at that time, I'm just guessing and saying somewhere around $150 a coin. So that could be the value multiplied by your 30 coins you've got in there. So you can see where this can run into quite a few dollars for this this investment out there. And I do congratulate the members that have been early movers on this. We've had what's going to mean that when we release this, there's going to be probably, I think it's $3.5 million now that will be released back up into the matrix. A lot of members that are taking these accounts already have existing accounts in the matrix, so they'll be recipients of these coins as well as getting the investment on the accounts they're taking now. So it's going to be quite exciting when this happens out there. We're also allowing members who can't quite do the 50 accounts to do partial positions in NLA. So sending an expression of interest for partial positions, which would be 10 plus, we will link the members together and submit the one CSV file, and the cost in this is $22 because there's just a bit of extra work on it, that's all, and it still puts you in a good position with being able to have members underneath you. And we have got some major plans in place here to do promotions, and I'm not going to go into them now, but because of our link that we have with the banks, and because of what we've been able to do with Chingaling as well, we've got some cross promotions that we're looking at doing there to really benefit a lot of the members. Because what this is leading to, the NLA component, we're leading to a crypto world. I mean, our product out there, because we obviously have our platforms out there, but our product out there has become crypto, because we only receive payment in cryptocurrency, and consequently members accumulate their crypto, and we want to try and have that as much as possible, with members accumulating crypto and good value crypto out there. So so a lot of the things that we do are related around cryptocurrency. That's why we're looking at BCN, that's why we're looking at UPB. And just to refresh you on UPB, that's Universal Plan B Plus. And they have asked me to be the master distributor for that. And what that really does is it puts our communities a bit closer together. The owner of UPB has probably in excess of 1,000 positions in Next Level Africa, so they are quite familiar with our program, and they want to be associated with us. But using our coin is simply going to mean that we've got more value coming into the coin. So you can send all expressions of interest to support at smada.world. That will help with that. We do have other support for general support stuff. We're trying to restrict that particular support at smada.world to this promotion, so we can keep them all together. We store the spreadsheets in there. It's a lot of information, so that we've got it on speed dial there when we want to start moving on it. So we've got it all together. So just try to send your support for expressions of interest to support at smada.world, rather than just general support issues to do with Next Level Africa. Just to briefly go over when we started these webinars on the 23rd of the 3rd, the asset account was $4.5 billion and our coin was $62.15. So here we are now on the, well, here where I'm, it's the 12th of June out there, so we're heading towards 2.5 months that we've been doing this as well, and consequently our coin's doubled. And in fact, when the new price goes up on the coin, you'll see it has doubled. So you can see that if that continued, and it will, because we'll have a lot of interest in our coin, a lot of trading will happen, and that's how the coin value is set. The coin value is set by the market maker, who in turn is independent from the bank, and he sets the coin value based on the trading of the coin and the asset account. So that's where that all comes from. It doesn't come from anywhere else but from the asset account. As you well know, as I've repeated here quite a few times, that we have the bank putting $20 billion into our asset account. And sometimes people question that out there. I've been saying it for a long time. We've been linked to the bank now for some time. The asset account is listed on Coin Exchange. The address in there for support goes back to the HSBC Bank from Coin Exchange. So if anyone thinks that we're making up stories about the $20 billion, I've been saying it for a long time, and someone try that if you want to set up a website and put on there that and tell people that the HSBC Bank are backing that as an asset account. Try that for 2 or 3 years, because it's been there for that long. When we first started off out there, our coin was $1.12, so it's certainly been there for a long time. So I think once the bank starts making their press releases on what's going on, it'll start to make a bit more sense, because as I mentioned before, this is the biggest humanitarian project that's ever been undertaken by any group, and they want to keep it a little bit quiet. And they're doing a lot of technology into blockchain as well. A lot of things that they keep under wraps. They don't tell us about them because they run into absolutely trillions of dollars that they talk about. So it's not something that they just have on open display that we can pass on to you. But I've just passed on that about the GEX, so hopefully, because once they've opened up GEX, what you're going to find is all the other little nitty-gritty issues are all completed with the rest of the exchange as well. So hopefully we're looking at that happening out there. I'm going to hand this back over to Angelina now, just to summarize or compile any Q&A that we might have, and hopefully we can answer the questions there. As you well know, that some of it we can't answer, either because we don't know or we're on well, we've been held quiet by the bank. They've tried that with me, but I do release a little bit more than, being on a non-disclosure. They're a little bit reluctant to hand me any information because they know I finish up releasing it out there. So I'm trying to restrict myself from doing that. But anyway, look, I'm going to hand this back to Angelina, and hopefully we can answer any of the questions that members may have. Thank you.
I'm going to post here in our room. Noel said that there were other places that you can submit questions, and well, mostly questions. So there's 3 places. You can submit in a Skype room that you're in. You can submit question in our Facebook group, and you can also email to reply to nextlevelafrica@gmail.com. Now, mind you, remember please that we're not all sitting at the computer just ready to answer questions. So do give us at least 24 hours to answer questions that you post, okay? We'd really appreciate that. And please, another thing, post only one place. If you choose Facebook, don't go and post it in the Skype room and email it because, you know, there's a couple of us that are going to be answering these questions, and we really only want to answer them in one place. Thanks. That's great. Now, on to our Q&A here for the webinar. Please go ahead and post your questions below in the chat room, and we will get on to answering them the best that we can. And Robert, I do see a question there that as the questions come in, I'll start with yours. So any questions for Noel here on the webinar? Well, we have him live and awake, and it's very early in Australia where he is, and a few other places. People are very early or very late. Any questions? John, have no idea if there's going to be a live chat on the CEX in the near future, but I see the question there. Any other questions here? We'll include that, but we've got a half an hour left for questions. Okay, yes, Chuck. When the GEX opens, the chat will open as well. That's kind of one of the big things that we're waiting for, is that connection with all of the wallets, the GEX and the CHL and the NLA wallets, all to be up and running, syncing with all sides. Okay, so there's, okay, I won't start reading these, but no, they're starting to come in. I'll start with Robert's first question, and then there is one down with Yoda underneath Chuck. So Robert is saying, what about all the people that's already paid their subscriptions a few weeks ago? And Noel, I will hand the mic back over to you to continue on answering the questions. Thanks.
Okay, look, thanks, Robert, there. Look, with these, that's what we're doing at the moment. They're going in line by line. So when people pay their subscription, that's the anniversary that will happen when they're ready to pay again. That's what that is. So consequently, that's why it's being set. So if that's answered your question, I mean that applies to everybody. And so some people have paid. They've gone to package 2 on there, so that becomes the anniversary, because you've got to have it in line so that the upper lines in the matrix are the first ones to pay their subscription, so they're active and ready to receive commissions from the lower lines. That's why we're doing it line by line. So I hope that's explained it to you, because it's how we're setting it up line by line. Oh, okay. Chuck's asked when GX opens, will the Chingaling wallet also open? That's right. Everything will happen with the Chingaling wallet. It'll be synchronized properly. It's just not working at the moment. So once the exchange opens, all of that will come into play then. Yoda, is there any updates on the bonus NLA platform some of us gained while we got the BCN promotion in the first webinar, and what line they fall on. There's a few promotions going there, Yoda, but I think that there's some of those are coming in now on line 6 when we put line 6 in. So there's quite a few promos coming in on that. The members that were receiving the 200 odd coins, I think they'll come in on line 6. So so that's where we are with that one. Tom, can you explain how we can transfer a platform to someone else? Well, it's quite easy. I mean, someone puts their project on there, just the project part of it, you can have someone else put that on there. So if you don't want to transfer the whole position in the matrix to them, just by giving them the platform to use, they can certainly use that. So you can just let them use that component of it, and then have your platform work that for you. So you may have to load that in there for them if you don't have given them full access to the thing there, Tom. But that's all it is. It's you've got your platform and then you've got your position in the matrix. So if you want to have both of them, you can. If not, then just having them use the platform. Oh, okay, James. Yeah, there's 52 accounts that haven't been funded that I'm chasing up right now, and we've given these people as much opportunity as we can to get them done. So we're looking at, and usually when we take them, some people start coming out of the woodwork then and telling us that they've been busy doing something else. So, but we will get onto that, and a lot of these accounts that we do take over, that admin will take over, we're going to be looking further down the track to do some other promotional activity, and not only promotional activity, but also saving them for some of the major players we've got coming in with their humanitarian projects. This is a bit of a lift for them as well, and because some of these people coming in with a huge humanitarian projects are talking about taking 10, 20, 30, 40, 50,000 plus accounts in next level Africa. So you'll see some major activity going on. So we want to be able to give them a little bit of a bonus in there as well. Rumor support, where are we? Is the new members join in the 50 plus groups, does this dilute benefits to other below? I'm not sure if I fully understand that. Oh, okay, yeah, I just remember now. No, it doesn't really. It doesn't. That's Andrew, I think. Yeah. All right, Andrew. Yeah, it doesn't affect them now. Robert Hughes, I paid 4 years ago and then paid it a day after I was asked for. I'm not sure what you're saying there, Robert. I paid it 4 years ago. Anyone that joined 4 years ago certainly did. Remember, this is a yearly subscription, so I'm not sure if you're saying you've missed out on paying a couple of years because everyone did as well. So I'm really having trouble understanding what you're saying there about these subscriptions, but they're a yearly subscription. I've also been told while I'm here on the webinar now that line 6 is coming to me first thing in the morning, so let's see what happens with that. Yoda, earlier Noel was talking about the 50-something members who have been out of contact. Did you say you were going to stop waiting for them this week? Yes, I'm not waiting any longer. I'm going to be sorting that out in the next 24 hours. That'll be sorted out. But line 6 is coming to me, and that will be fixed up. We've tried to contact them, and we're not having any luck, but who knows what will happen, because we've told them that they're being taken out of the matrix. Rama, we came in late. Oh, okay, so come in late. What's happened is the wallet's being generated. I just did a test myself there on transferring some coins into the exchange. So the wallets should be fixed up this week out there with a Rama. So anyone sending any coins into CEX, if they're sitting and pending, they should be fixed up. It's just to do with the wallets synchronizing in there and them getting what they need to do. So once again, it should be all fixed this week. Marlene, question for you: can I move NLA coins from my wallet to CEX and then buy Bitcoin or Jingling, or must I wait to sell the NLA coins before I can buy? Well, you should be able to transfer coins in there. And Marlene, I can't tell you whether you can buy Jingling or Bitcoin. That's up to members who have got them for sale. So you'll list your NLA coins, and if anyone wants to exchange them by using their Bitcoin, that's how it's all transactions happen from there. So once you get in there, then listing them on the price. I haven't looked at the pricing on because Bitcoin's been going down that much. People might be looking to try and get rid of it and get into more of a stable coin. Okay, Yoda, thank you for that. Oh yes, yeah, I agree with you. Yoda's mentioned Maxine. Maxine is one of the key players in the NLA community, and I can't speak more highly of Maxine and the team she works with out there. It's a pleasure to have someone with us of Maxine's standard and what she expects out there and how she treats people. So it's really excellent. So I agree with it. Yeah. Yeah, Tom, you can transfer it's because we don't have KYC in Next Level Africa, there's no issue in there. You just transfer it over to someone, they change their email, that changed, all the details, name, all of that type of stuff on there, and that becomes theirs. So that's something that you can do your end there, and as I said, there's no changing any account details with KYC because we don't KYC in Next Level Africa. Eric's asking, considering Bitcoin and its sister coin, Bitcoin Cash, do you consider Jingling as the main coin given its value, and NLA more secondary, or it will be supersede Jingling in the long run? Yeah, look, Jingling's not our main coin. It is because at the moment it's there on the exchange. It's good value to buy it. You won't see that coming up too often out there. There is no way to accumulate Jingling unless you purchase it. Our main coin will be the NLA coin. And with what I've got in mind, because remember we are running the exchange now, we will take on any coin, including Jingling. And so I believe that we will be the dominant coin out there once we get going with this, once people realize that the backing that we have with this, that the cryptocurrency world will certainly warm to wanting to have some NLA coin. And I'm not saying that Jingling won't get out there and rustle a few feathers as well, but we are certainly going to be doing our best to do that. So I think I've answered this, transferring the position in the matrix as well as the platform to another. Yeah, just signing it over should do all that. Eric's asking, given the relationship with the banks, are we looking for them to provide us with a debit card versus a third party? Seems like that would make sense. They are talking about putting a debit card onto the exchange, so that's something they've been talking about for some time. So we'll know more about that. I'm wanting to get all the little itty-gritty things fixed up with the exchange before we start getting into the fancy steps, but that's on the cards, and so it'll be instant being able to load funds onto your card and just being able to deal with it as you normally would with any card. Jeffrey's asking, can you explain post the NLA coin registrations free to sign up, level 115 NLA coins, therefore the cost is the cost for this level going to be the price? No, it's $15. It'll be whatever percentage of a coin that represents. But the NLA won't increase, it'll be $15. It just works out now. That's the reason that I set the coin on $1 so that it could represent 15 coins to be a member of Next Level Africa. But that will change to a $15 worth of NLA coin to be a member. Yoda's, what do you mean line 6 is coming to you? Does this mean your team start loading positions in? When I say line 6 is coming to me, what's happening from there is that I get line 6 and I inspect it. So I spend a few days on that, inspecting it, making sure that we get everything right from there. Once I sign off on it, it goes back to the programmers and then they load line 6 up. So all I'm saying is that we receive line 6, we'll check it out, make sure there's nothing silly going on there with it, and then the programmers will load it up. If Rema suppose ask is asked for 10 positions in the expressions of interest, can this increase to 50? You can increase it to 50. We just need the spreadsheet and the payment, so it's we can secure the coins, but you can increase it. We have a few people have asked for some fairly high numbers in there, but I've limited it just for this stage to make sure that the positions are evenly spread over the NLA community. Once we're happy with that, probably within the next week, if there's anything left over, we'll mention to those members that wanted to take additional positions out there that they can have the last, because I've allocated 20,000 positions. That's what's for the allocation. We're well over half of that now. So consequently, we'll see what's left out there with it. Yeah, when it's like everything else out there, that when you list coins on an exchange, you obviously have to wait till someone buys them. Yes. So once you do, and that will be depending on what you list them for. The cheapest ones will sell first. So we're hoping people honour the market maker's value and keep them around that. Look, there was talks about 20% above, 20% below, but I'd like to see the least price on there at the market maker's value out there, and but there'll be a lot of activity. We've got a lot of people coming in to purchase the coins from the exchange, so that's really the least of our worries here with the coin. Once we get the exchange happening properly, you'll see them turn over quite quickly. Daryl is saying, or shall I say listed on CEX? Oh, okay. I missed that back up there. Daryl's asked, would you trade or allow other coins for sale on the CEX? The answer to that is yes, out there, Daryl, because we are going to be looking at increasing the amount of coins that we'll be trading on CEX and putting some quality trade into them. So so we're not limited to how many coins we can put on there. I just want to make sure we don't, look, I don't know how many's too many and how many's not enough, but we'll be allowing other trading to happen on there. Yeah, look, we are looking at all sorts of coins, so I'm not really sure which ones we'll sign off on, but we are looking at everything we can. It's really, if members are asking for a particular coin, then we'll certainly, you know, fast track it if we can. Okay, yeah, when joining charges to 15 worth of NLA coin, do new members receive commissions on whole coins or partial? If you're paying a percentage, and let's say it's 10%, that's the percentage, 10% of a coin. Well, that 10% of a coin, because we have 100 million units in a coin, will be distributed to wherever it needs to go to. So if someone's paying and receiving 10% of a coin, then how many coins get distributed? 10% of a coin. Jeffrey, but that means the recipient of the coins will not receive enough coins. Jeffrey, it'll all be adjusted. It'll all be adjusted. All right. So that's why we're trying to get in a position where we can explain a lot of this, but it'll be adjusted. You won't be paid in full coins. You'll be paid the value, and you'll upgrade to the value of the next package. So you certainly will have enough to do that. Daryl's asked how many lines we have. At this stage, we're down to line 9. We've got a few people waiting to come in, so probably within a week or two after we fully launch, because we haven't opened it up for the general public yet, you'll see probably down to line 10, 11 will be completed with the activity that's going on there. Look, I think that's covered most of the questions there now, and we are coming up to the top of the hour. So I might hand this back to Angelina to close up. I do want to thank everybody for turning up. I hope it's been an informative morning, particularly with the possible opening of GEX, because that will end a lot of things once GEX opens, because that's the flagship of the bank. It's not our flagship, but it's a bank's, and everything runs off that. So the program is doing their security stuff on that, runs back through CEX, runs back through Next Level Africa, and everything is totaled up from there. That's why moving things around, some of the coins, they just haven't quite secured the thing, so they want to make sure they do all that. I'll hand this back to Angelina, and thank you once again everybody for turning up.
Thoughts behind your questions. It's very, very helpful. And we all appreciate how loyal you are coming out every week, and for all of the compliments. We really appreciate that. That's so supportive. It takes a team. So now Noel did mention that we are looking forward to having the webinar once again this week at our regular scheduled time, which is Thursday evening and Friday morning for those of you in Australia. So please watch for announcements confirming that later this week. And everyone, have a great day and evening no matter where you are, and we'll see you in a few days. Thank you. Bye for now.